Welcome to a quick tutorial video on how to use the automatic update tool, and specifically in this video, the installer. If you haven't done so, download it from www.soft-updates.com and go ahead and run the installer. Agree to the terms. Alright, now that that's done, and as you can see, this is the release candidate. As you can see, we've been making a lot of changes, done a lot of work into this to get it to this point, so we're very proud to release this new version. Alright, so here's what's going to be. There's some new features, some old features, if you've been following along in previous videos. So we're just going to go ahead and create some content. Just for the sake of this video, we are creating a Nintendo emulator installer. It's not our emulator, not our ROMs or code, anything like that. We are simply just showing off the install creator and everything and the settings. Okay, so we've created the changelog, entered in the product name, publisher name, included an icon, the version. Alright, so now we're going to go next. Ask where the files are. We're going to go ahead and click Nintendo. Select your app's main entry point, aka the file you would like to run. When the shortcut's clicked, where do you want it to default to install to? Save a local copy if you want to create a copy of the installer. Create file associations. This is new in the new version. So this window right here, the create file associations, what you're going to do is you're going to create a new file. You're going to create a file association. So in this case, we're going to use the Nintendo Entertainment System file extension. We're going to call this NES ROM, and then a description there. Click add, and that's going to add this new file extension. So that way when the installer installs this, it's going to go ahead and pull it up. Okay, so here is our designer. We're going to go ahead and load a profile we've already created before just to save on some time. This designer is very easy to use. You can select a different background image for your title bar example like this, or create one yourself. This thing has a lot of possibilities. You can create any type of whatever you want. So we're going to go ahead and hit save on that, and then go ahead also in the options menu here, these are new. Installer only is going to make it so that way you only create an installer and not upload it to the internet where people can check for updates on your software. So in this case, I'm only going to create an installer. Auto increment version on publish means that when it's done, it's going to increment this revision number. And again, in the future, we're going to add a new feature where you can select which either the minor, major, build, or revision gets automatically incremented. For now, it's just the revision, but it's going to go ahead and auto increment that, so that way next time you don't have to pick your version. It'll automatically be done. And for the sake of this demo here, we're going to go ahead and select some files like we've already done. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and hit next. Since we've got the installer only, it's not going to upload, so we don't need an API key, which is important. But if you want to upload and you don't have an API key, you can always just click this link, go to www.soft-updates.com, again www.soft-updates.com, and grab yourself an API key. We're just going to be doing the installer only, and also we're going to select where we want the installer to be published to. We just told it the desktop. Now we go ahead and click publish, and it's going to go ahead and compress the files and create the installer. Okay, it's almost compressing all those files. Okay, it's done. Now it's creating the installer. This part can take a minute depending on how big your installer is and how big the files are. In this example, you can see here that we have a directory with 453 megabytes. And then if we check this installer that we just created, it's 219 megabytes, so significantly smaller. So using the underlying zip technology, it saved us a lot of hassle there. So right now we've already done that. We're going to create another one using a smaller set of folders so that way it doesn't take as long, just so you can see the auto increment function. So when I go ahead and hit, it's going to go ahead and compress these files, which is a short, small subset of games, and then it's going to automatically create another version with a new incremented version, as you can see right here. So now we have two versions, and then if you hit publish a third time, for example, it's going to go ahead and create a third. It's going to increment this right here as soon as it's fully done. And there, it's incremented. So now we have 3 installers. So this way, with this feature on, the auto increment, it's a good feature to have on just so you don't accidentally overwrite an installer of a version that you may have really wanted to save. Alright, so let's go ahead and check this out. Alright, here is the new installer that we just created. Pretty blue buttons and all. The end user license agreement that you pasted in the box. And now it's going to install. It's fairly quick. In this example, we had 2,186 files compressed down to 200 and something megabytes from 500 and something. Okay, I jumped ahead a second for you. Alright, so now it's copying the files, and it's going to create the registry entries, create shortcuts. When you click on a ROM file, it automatically opens up the emulator, which I'll show you in a second. Feature we added. Alright, all done. You check the release notes. You can go to the website, launch the app, and if I click close, it's going to automatically launch that emulator. And if I click on a game, it's going to automatically load the emulator like it's supposed to. Now, the smaller version, the one we only put a few games in, as you can see, will go a lot faster. See? So again, everything works out perfectly. Again, this is the demo of the new automatic update tool and install creator. That you get for free from www.soft-updates.com.